The series Crush is located out of my concept gallery called Galleria Nepantla in San Miguel de Allende, Guanajuato, Mexico. A concept gallery is where artists like to devote their time investigating a theme. After our investigations, we create a body of work and then we have an art opening. We invite the public to join our moment of inquiry into the human condition. The paintings that I'm about to reveal to you are based on my experiences dating in the wild west world of online dating. I did countless interviews with men and women where they confessed their desires, fears, and hopes of a new future with someone. Many people think that love is a cliche, and they are right. It's young, sexy, and fun. This is just a screenshot of one of my first online searches for love. Then I decided to punch in the words older love. And here we see two people holding hands, snuggling bed, with smiles on their faces. Do these images depict your reality if you are over 40 and frisky? In terms of unconditional love, here's what I got when I searched it online. Nice little quotes, but the images don't say a lot. How could I possibly translate these cliched memes into paintings that tell the story of unconditional love? And so I'm going to dive right in and expose the investigation behind my archetypes and the great mythology about unconditional love. When I was 36 years old, I had a dream that has haunted me to this day. It was about a woman in red waiting at a train station with her suitcase. When the train came, she looked back at me and boarded it. And that was the end of the dream. And the very next day, I began symptoms of perimenopause. The symptoms were just night sweats, and I realized that my body was changing and there was nothing I could do about it. So I really didn't put too much attention to it because in those days, the symptoms were quite mild. In this painting, I put a black bow on the red dress as a symbol of death. Here in Mexico, when someone dies, there's a tradition of hanging a black bow over the doorway. I thought it was important to create an archetype that represented a woman in the process of aging. The name of this painting is called The Trip. Well, I had just retired from 11 years of exotic dancing. I realized that my body was changing and there was nothing I could do about it. I didn't give it much attention because the symptoms were mild in those days. The term cougar has always been playfully applied to me, but I never really liked it because I never thought it was my role to go hunting for love. The cougar is other people's perception of me. And now it has become a common 30 to 40-year-old symbol of women in the driver's seat, controlling all the shots. I'm an aging cougar, and although there is a term called silver fox, this is a slang to a handsome gray-haired man. The name of this painting is The Immaculate Transformation. At around 50 years old, I underwent a breakup with a boyfriend. Soon after, I started suffering from a lot of health issues with digestion. I ended up with colitis, gastritis, polyps in my stomach, hemorrhoids in my colon, a hiatal hernia, and an umbilical hernia. Over a couple of years, I visited doctors, and they helped me overcome my stomach problems with diet and working out. The name of this painting is called Nurse with a Purse. Everything I enjoyed eating began causing me so much stomach pain and bloating. I felt like an ugly old toad, and I didn't feel like dating. She wears a corsage of gardenias. The reason is that gardenias are known for alleviating inflammation. The majority of dates meant going out to eat and drinking, and I felt like I was just fucked. I wondered if I was going to lose my libido. I got scared. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gone. I'm just so gone. So the name of this archetype is Gone. And so I felt comfortable enough to go online and begin dating. So when I hit about 54, I posted my profile and jumped in. My profile got more than 100 likes in less than 24 hours and thought that I was crushing it. So many of my crushes were not willing to reveal anything about themselves. Many of the men that liked me had no pictures of themselves or information about what they liked. I tried to ask questions like, are you seeing anyone seriously right now? What are you looking for in a woman? I turned to dating coaches for advice, and they insisted that women should make the first move with online dating. This goes against the way I was raised as a young woman, that it's up to the man to make the first move. The title Ice Queen is often given to a woman that doesn't desire any intimacy, leaving her suitor in the cold. But breaking the ice online was so difficult because there were so many ice kings that refused to respond. And so I did this painting called Salvation. I couldn't resist modifying a popular archetype called Cupid that coincided with the rejection of online dating. And so I did my own version of an exotic Cupid who holds a bow and arrow. According to the Roman poet Ovid, in his book Metamorphoses, Cupid has two arrows with different tips. One is of gold and is very sharp to strike a person with uncontrollable desire, and the other tip is blunt and made of lead that has the opposite effect. In my painting, I have a black pointed arrow that is not so blunt, and the Cupid's expression is not so sure. The name of this painting is just simply Cupid. The good news was that in time, my profile attracted the right kind of guys. We connected with good conversations online and then by phone. The anticipation of meeting each other live and in person was very exciting. When we did finally meet in a restaurant, we wasted no time in sharing our past and what mattered to us. This is a painting called La Limpia, which means the cleansing in Spanish. And it refers to a tradition in Latinx cultures where an egg is broken into a glass of water, and then a curandero, or a healer as they say in English, will do a reading depending on the characteristics of the egg. For example, the egg in the glass to the left represents health issues, which is why there's red spots. I wanted to make a painting where two people are open about their problems. And like you do in a bar, you know how you kind of do a toast with your drinks? To me, it represents the first step toward unconditional love. This painting has been sold and is available in 16 inches by 12 limited edition cliches of 50. Afterwards, you throw the eggs away. In doing this, you're making a gesture of getting rid of all your old baggage and the ideas and the issues that don't serve you anymore. The name of this painting is The Trash. After a while, I began to see patterns in the men that I dated. The Iberian Bull is the most abused animal in the world. It is removed from its mother as a young calf and then raised on a farm with other baby bulls to be brave and then released into a ring to be tortured in the famous spectacles of Spanish bullfights, where in the end it will receive the ultimate stab in the heart. After dating and interviewing men, many of them confessed eventually their struggles and disappointments in life and relationships. From childhood abuse to wars to messy divorces and job displacement, accidents, and sickness, the list just goes on. I decided to create a male archetype wearing a bull mask with banderillas, which are the decorated harpoons that are stuck around his shoulders, and to have a tattoo on his chest. All of these symbols represent his resilience. The name of this painting is called The Unbroken. Other patterns that I have noticed is the sexual culture of men. It is no secret that the levels of testosterone do drop as men age, affecting their libido. This is a still life that I painted of common paraphernalia representing contemporary, alternative, and folkloric remedies that can be found in the markets in Mexico and Latin American countries. For example, rattlesnake teeth can be crushed using a mortar and pestle and then consumed in order to make a man virile. Maca, the red and yellow root vegetable native to South America, is also used to enhance sex drive. The name of this painting is called Mexican Viagra. This painting is called Flowers from a Shaman. It's a still life of exotic flowers. Bouquets are gifts to communicate symbolically our feelings towards someone. Pink usually means friendship, but blue to violet roses symbolize mystery and even the unattainable. The only flowers that I ever received during my time dating was from a shaman who had given me a leather bag full of crystals with a crocodile painted on it. Crocodiles are a symbol that has been following me around for decades. You will often find them in my paintings hidden as hides or as an animal form. They are ancient Mesoamerican symbols of death. After 3 months of dating, I began to fall in love with one of them. His name was Victor. We were on our fourth date, and I was feeling pretty good with him. We were laying at poolside in our swimsuits, getting tipsy with cocktails, when I asked him, "So when do you think it would be a good age to die?" He replied, "Next year." He was 59 years old. I guess the shocked expression on my face made him say, "Well, but if I can continue to have this much fun with you, maybe I'll change my mind." I was crushed to hear this because I was looking for someone to grow old with. I imagined us buying a retirement home together and traveling the world, walking down the streets of Paris, arm in arm, laughing and having a good time. After that day, he never called me again. Victor was not the only one. I went out with another man who was in his early 50s. He committed suicide 3 months later. I was crushed. So I did this painting called Seeing Through because I realized so many of us wear masks to cover up our pain and suffering of life. After a year of dating, I came to a conclusion. Not everyone wants to live. I realized that dating at this age is perilous, and it changed the way I saw the future. As depressing as it sounds, there is no future. The clock is ticking, and that is why it is so important to appreciate every moment I have with someone, regardless of their shortcomings and regardless of what is going on in the world. Because all I have is now. All the paintings that you have seen are available as limited edition giclée prints of only 50. They are signed and numbered by me. They are approximately 12 inches by 16 inches for $179 US. The inks and the paper are archival. The price includes shipping, packaging, and insurance. If you would like to purchase one, please leave your name and email in the chat, and I'll send you the direct link to purchase now. I'm also accepting direct donations that you can send me using my email at isis@isisrodriguez.com, and you can send your donation through PayPal. I also accept checks. Again, leave your name and email, and I will send the correct address to send to. I'm also on Patreon, where you can subscribe for as little as $5 a month and receive uncensored information, video podcasts about my works and my vision. You can also write reviews about this experience on TripAdvisor, Google, and my Facebook pages. Other ways you can support me is you can recommend me to online art magazines, bloggers, and influencers. If you are an academic, curator, or in any position of power in the art world, you can nominate me for grants, residencies, or invite me for paid public speaking, which, by the way, I just love to do. You can also share links from my website to yours. We call this backlinks, and it is very effective in ranking me high with algorithms. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to begin the questions and answers in just a moment.